This is Proton Iriz. This is meant to compete directly with Perodua Myvi. Today, I'm going to take you for a tour around this vehicle and tell you all the features and compare with the Myvi and see why it has not been as popular as the Myvi. If you have this car also, I'd like to hear from your perspective as an owner, what you think about the car. Leave your comment down below and do give me a thumbs up. Thank you. If you haven't subscribed, please do so and don't forget to turn on the notification so you won't miss any future uploads. Thank you. This is the first generation of Proton Iriz, and the second generation does not look very different from this either. A little minor changes, but everything else stays more or less the same. I think it looks relatively beautiful. The front part looks quite nice. It looks very typical of Proton. Now, going around this car for the exterior design, I think it looks quite beautiful for the car at this price range. It may not be the most beautiful car. Now, from the back, overall looks okay, but I don't quite like the shape of the lights and this part around. I'm not sure why it's designed that way, but I especially like the rear spoiler. It looks very nice. But one thing I'm very clear is that I like the design of the interior in this car more than in the Myvi. I think the dashboard looks very nice. It's got a very small center console, but it does look better than the Myvi overall. Now, underneath the hood, they either come with 1.3 or 1.6 liter inline 4-cylinder naturally aspirated engine. This particular car has a 1.3 liter. It also has two transmissions as well. You either choose CVT transmission or 5-speed standard transmission. And this particular car has a 5-speed standard transmission. I've heard some complaints from various owners about the CVT transmission, that it whines when you accelerate the car, which is very typical in a CVT transmission. It tends to whine when you accelerate the car very hard. But it does have better fuel economy. So let's hit the road and see how this car drives. It's got decent acceleration, but it's not fast. It does feel a little sluggish because this is a 1.3 liter. I suppose the 1.6 would be better. I especially like the steering wheel. Now, it feels very nice. It's very light as well. Cornering is okay. It does have a bit of body roll, but overall it does handle quite well. It feels very nice actually driving. Not that noisy. And I like the fact that it's not rattling at all. Inside feels very nice. Everything is still very intact. I'm not very concerned about the reliability of this car overall. I know a lot of people complain about the CVT transmission, but it does have its downsides. That's unavoidable. That whining sound, hopefully they will nail it down in the future. But if you're concerned about the CVT transmission, you can always choose the standard transmission. Now, honestly, I'm just okay about this car. I would not buy it new, but an old one like this is a great bargain. A great bargain. The price of this car drops like a stone. So you buy a used one, you don't lose as much. During acceleration, I noticed that the engine is whining quite loud as well, because it's working quite hard to hold the car. But I think driving in the city should not be a problem because this is sufficient to maneuver around in city. And also it's a manual transmission, so you can always choose lower gears if it feels sluggish. Now the question is this: why are these cars not popular, especially in Kuching? You drive out in Kuching one day, if you could see one or two of these, you're considered quite lucky. In general, you don't see them. But you can't leave your house without seeing an Xia or a Myvi. They are just so popular, partly because of Malaysian mentality. Whichever car is popular, people are buying, we just buy the same thing. So this car is considered a cold car. If you have one of these, maybe you better stick with it because you don't have much value selling this car. And also, if you look for a decent car without having to pay much, maybe this could be a good choice, a used one. And if you're concerned about the CVT transmission, take the manual. Maybe go for the 1.6. It's got more oomph. I have to admit that it does drive better than the Myvi manual. And it doesn't really feel floating on the road either as it goes fast. I mean, you can't really drive very fast in Kuching. So thank you for watching. Do give me a thumbs up. Thank you.